Hello everyone, I am Plankera. Today I'm going to continue cutting out the art for a Shalom rig. And I was just taking a look around this morning and I remembered that I had this spot on the side here that was supposed to be that I was using as transparency for the eye before, where I should put the eyelashes. But that should definitely not be on the hair in the final version, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that now before moving on to the next thing. It's because I can't really let that be there, because the eyes are going to move around relative to the hair, and it's like if that got left there like that, things would just get kind of messy. So I'm taking a look at my other reference to see where her hair starts to change colors, and which color should be here, because I don't think that white color is correct. Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be more of a middling kind of red. I think I'm just gonna pick directly from that reference, because I don't think I'm gonna find the right color on the one that I have. Got a little bit messed up there. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And now I should be able to get that part out of there. Just start fading into this color. And repaint in all the shadows and stuff. The usual. And so yeah, if I left it there, I'd have to worry about lining it up with the eyes. I might put in some amount of eye transparency, but I haven't decided yet. Because on the one hand, it's like the original art has a little bit of that. Not very much. I actually had to look pretty closely to realize that those little marks in the hair were indeed from the eye. So the fact that it's not very prominent makes me wonder if I should just make it so the eyes aren't, or so the hair isn't partially transparent over the eyes. But on the other hand, with as much as VTubing is focused on the expression, and a lot of the expression will come from the eyes and the eyebrows, makes me wonder if I should put in a little bit of eye transparency anyway. Okay, how blended is this? Really hard to say. I'll do it a little bit more than that, but probably not any more than like around here. I think this is probably a good reference for how thoroughly I should blend this. Yeah, those are the kind of thoughts going through my head while I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to cut all this and all that good stuff. And like I said, I'm still a fairly inexperienced rigger. So there's probably a lot of other questions I should be asking too, and some things that I'm just straight up overcomplicating. It's just how that kind of thing works out sometimes. It'll become more second nature as I keep practicing. I have a bit of overlap here that I'm probably gonna have to get rid of. Oh, of course, it's because... Okay, I gotta be careful with that then. Yep, I was getting confused with this layer. So I need to back up a little bit. Okay, so yep, that you can see this is... I'm trying to find the point where I started messing with the line here. Looks like it's about here. So let's go down and hide this. And then see if that spot that was bothering me is actually there or not. Yes, it is. Okay. basically the line didn't look quite right and I wanted to fix it. A little bit thin. A little bit the wrong color. This part was more this color. It might actually be easier to color pick from here. Yeah, it looks like I've got the right color. Okay, that's good. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell. This is not the style I normally draw in, so I'm having to learn a lot of stuff on the fly. How to replicate it. Okay. Now I need to turn this back on. And I want to see how this line looks right over here. Looks like this outline is a little bit too strong. So let's lighten it up a little. There we go. And then this comes up into here. Oh. Kind of like this. Let's just pick the color from the original, see if I can't get a good one here. I feel like I'm getting some ones that are a little bit too light. Maybe there. I do think I just need to hide the background for a second while I brush in this line. And now I have to go hunting for that part right through here. I think might actually be just this. It is just that. Excellent. Good job, Brain. You remembered. Just looking up some references for what this character looks like again. And I have some ideas on how I want to handle certain things. Maybe a showcase near the end. So I'll probably leave most of that a surprise, but I assure you I have been thinking very hard about this. I'm gonna present it. I hope you'll like the finished product at the end. Okay. Next, I want to make the strand more interesting. Go look at my other reference. Okay. So I think I have the smoothness of this roughly correct. All I think I need is a little bit more darkness through here. Let me see. Where was it exactly? Right about here. Just like another little strand. Coming through there. And I want to draw that. Okay. And then this is actually... Oh no, it is skin. Okay. That's odd. When I was checking on it yesterday, I thought that it was just a spot that I did not draw properly. Okay, I need to go... Where is that layer? I can't see all my names, so it's hard for me to find the layer I'm looking for sometimes. It's because they're too long. Unfortunately for this set, there's not much I can really do to shorten it up. I've kind of aimed for a very specific naming convention to make it easier to find what I'm looking for while I'm actually rigging. And unfortunately that means I guess there's some sacrifices to be made when doing the art. Okay, present me will suffer for future me. Better appreciate this future me. Having to find layers is kind of terrible. Okay. So now I guess I will do this tiny little strand. Okay, so that's that layer. So that means I must move you down below, which makes sense. Okay. So I think I'm gonna grab this line color and extend the line as far as I want it to go, because I want it to kind of come off from up here. I'm probably gonna have to hide her face a little bit. A little bit higher. A little bit more up like this. There we go. That should do it. It's not aligned quite perfectly, but I think it's close enough. Gotta pick your battles sometimes. Okay. And I just want to make this a little bit less lumpy. And then I want to make sure I have everything filled in properly, so I'm going to hide the head. So we get the creepy floating face. That is super creepy. It's kind of incredible, really. There's actually a trend amongst Live 2D riggers that I've seen on Twitter lately of just having the eye and sometimes the rest of the face movement on a flesh-colored background. And I'm just like, man, this is creepy. I'm surprised it got so popular. Alright, I wanted to extend it a little further out, so I'm gonna go lower the opacity here. Get my line color again, and have it go just a little bit further. Oh, I have the layer locked. There we go. Have it go just a little bit further out. I'm on the wrong layer, aren't I? Shoot. Okay, this should be safe. Drawing on the wrong layer, it happens a lot. Very problematic when working on models like this where you just have 50 million layers. I think the amount of layers on my model was like 600 or something ridiculous. Like I know that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it feels like a lot sometimes. There's certainly ones that have it worse, but it can be really unwieldy and difficult to deal with. I just want to extend this out a little bit more. And I'll just round to the back, because I'm not gonna use this whole thing. There we go. I want to align it a little bit better, though. I just want to have a little bit of extra space to move things around if I deem it necessary. This is me just future-proofing some things. Just like having a little bit of extra space to move things around. So if I have to go right up to the edge all the time, that can get a little bit stressful. go. Just opacity back up. And now I can turn the head back on. Have things look a little bit less creepy. Hooray. So I think that strand's pretty good now. So I guess I'll go back to this next layer up, which I think is right around here. Yeah. Okay, so this layer, and I will hide this for now, and I can start blending all of that in. So let me see, is that the one that's sitting right on top? Okay, now there's another one like right here. So I need to make sure that all of this looks good, like underneath. And I'm gonna extend this one pretty far out just because I need to make sure I have lots of extra hair for head turns. So I need the hair to cover the side of her head once the head is turning. So as much as I like having lots of space in general, this has a much more significant purpose than the last couple have. I think I'm also going to need to reference over here quite a lot. Make sure that I'm really matching up to where all these hair strands were. And I think I will taper that off into something darker. I don't think it'll look very good otherwise. Kind of a weird random salmon color in there. Let's hide the side bang that I was just working on too. And then I can get a lot of stuff underneath as well. I don't want too much, but I do want some. Enough to kind of... This way the hair will have lots of room to move when it comes time to animate it all. Alright. Now I need to hide this again. Unfortunately, the spots that aren't covered by the face just end up a little bit awkward. Let this little strand live in there a little bit more. Put a little bit more of that darkness through here. I'm gonna cover it up. There we go. Now I have to figure out how I want it to end. So at some point I kind of have to round out the tip here. I think I'll just do it like this, I guess. That should give me a fair amount of room. And then there's a bunch of layers on top of this, right? Yeah, so that's going to be those couple of layers. So I can put a little bit more up top here. And I think I will. I want the ability to stretch things out as the head turns. So I need to draw a lot of those things in. Let me do something like that. Yeah. I'll go ahead and color in this part. This way I can just lock the layer and call it good. I think I want to hide the layer underneath too. Make it a bit easier to see. All this just to give myself a lot of room when it comes time to start moving the hair around later. I do hope to have a very satisfying amount of hair shaking. Okay, I don't think I want to extend it any higher than this. Where's that other? So, maybe underneath, yeah. Okay. Get this kind of tapered in there. Looking all nice. Laugh at all the funny bald spots that I kind of have to tolerate just so I can see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that looks good. Just kind of got to blend it all out now. I think I'm gonna lock the layer. I think I'm gonna have to go back in and unlock it in order to fix some stuff. But it's alright. I can do that. I'll have to figure out exactly what these strands kind of represent on the original. Just kind of following the implications of the colors that I was seeing. I know this part was like tucked behind the ear. I'll probably just make a separate layer for some shadows caused by the ear. This will be fine for now. One step at a time. I have a tendency to kind of think 7 moves ahead. And I think that can get me in trouble sometimes. Especially when it comes to communicating ideas with people. Because my thinking is a little bit non-linear. Sometimes it feels like people have no idea what I'm talking about because I reached a conclusion based on something that ran through my mind that I may or may not even be aware of. So, always a little bit awkward. Okay. Now I have to kind of look at the original again. Just because I have to know what's going on with the hair there. Okay, so we have this color kind of down here. It's doing something like this. And I kind of want to respect that. There we go. That actually looks pretty nice. Okay, this is what we check. This is artifacting, but this is real, I think. So I can throw some of that in. Make the hair look a little bit nicer. And a little bit more like how the original artist drew it. There we go. Not gonna worry about this strand yet. I'm just looking at everything else. Also saying that for my own sake, so I don't get caught up on details that are not even on this layer. I'll bring this little highlight a little further down, I think. Because the reason it's a bit more shadowed is because it's put by that little strand. And I don't think I'm ready to do shadows cast on the hair by the hair yet. One thing at a time. Okay. Back up here. Okay, so this seems pretty alright. Just want to add a few more colors in there to make it a little bit more interesting. Because otherwise I just won't be able to use it. Something like that, I think, will look good. Okay. I think I lost a little bit of shadow here, so I'm gonna put it back just a little. And probably a little bit of the highlight too. Because there's just this little tiny light strand in here. I like that. Some of these are too small to make me think that they're worth separating, but I do kind of want to acknowledge them a little bit. Right now I'm just trying to match the style at least somewhat. Easier said than done, as I'm not quite sure where a lot of these little strands are and where they're going. This is just going to be an area where it's a little different just because this artist is a bit messier than I am. I mean, look at all these different colors in the hair. Whereas I just use like 3. The fate of someone with a more minimal style. See all this complicated stuff and you're just like, oh boy, what is even happening? I'm gonna need to sit down. But I think I'm doing a decent enough job matching it all up. I do worry that I'm making it look a little bit too much like my usual style in some places. I've accepted that's kind of inevitable to an extent, but I am doing my best to avoid going too hard on that. I really do like the art in this game. And I want to honor what was already created. I just want to make this picture move. It's a good picture. It's a really good picture. I think I'm getting a little bit too fluffy here. The hair is pretty well separated and defined here. Like you can see all these little strands. I want to make sure I keep that. I'm also trying to stop it from being too straight, because I do notice that the original artist kind of has these little kind of lumpier spots. I want to capture some of that too. So right now I'm doing a lot of color picking from the original, just to make sure I have the right colors in there. Some of them were looking a little bit off. And then I kind of need to extrapolate all the way down, and that's always a bit tricky for me. There's just a lot to style matching like this. That is what's making it interesting for me to study, but oh man, can it be overwhelming sometimes. Okay, I feel like this purple color should go a little more into this red color. And then a little bit more like this. And I do feel like that there should be a stronger highlight here. Like, I don't think that salmon color is correct. Like, that's a weird color. But let's see. Probably something like this. Yeah, something like that. And then the other strand will sit on top. So right now these don't quite fully blend all together the way I want. So let's see what's wrong, see if I can't figure it out. How do they go into shadow over here? They all just kind of go into these purples. So I think I need to just have it more like this near the bottom. And I think that'll... Like right now it's a little bit muddy. That's just something I'll have to fix, but I think this is kind of the right general idea. Just have everything go into these lovely dark colors. And just keep finding the occasional tiny hole. I'll be more thorough about filling those in later, but as I see them, I try to make sure to get them to save trouble for my future self. So you definitely don't want any weird transparency or holes in your art here. Because it's like, even though they're not super noticeable when it's still, it's going to be really noticeable once it starts moving. Just going to be these weird things and not going to look very good. Okay. And I think that's probably fine. Go turn on that layer. I think I want to extend this a little bit. Well, no, I really can't because this one sits on top. I just want to make sure it's clean. It's looking pretty clean. Maybe a little weird pink pixel or two over there. Just realizing I didn't like this shape very much. There we go. Why does this look weird? Okay. I'm gonna take a darker color and just use that instead. That'll make it look a little bit better. There we go. Just touch up the line art here. There we go. I'll worry about the shadow later, so I guess here. So this is just all that stuff. I will do that later. I think I want to do that one after I do some of these ones that are going to be covering here. Okay. Need to hide the original for a sec. And just so I can see exactly what this one covers. Okay, so this covers over there. This is this one. That must be that one. Yeah, I think I can get behind doing this one first. What are you? seriously, where are you? Oh, okay, you're the strand coming off that layer. Okay. You're just hanging out down there. Okay. The struggle is real. I'm gonna hide some layers so I can kind of see what I'm doing, as always. On the right one. And I'll start by locking the layer and getting rid of some of the artifacts that kind of came up. Let me check it on the original here. My other reference. Because yeah, I feel like some of the colors just got kind of weirdly browned and grayed. And I don't like it. It doesn't look right. Okay, and over here on this side, it's got a weird kind of lump on it. And I'm sure that's fine, but no. Really makes sense for how I initially cut it, but no. Most of this is going to be extended anyway, so... it's fine. Because I do need to kind of... make it so I can put it underneath the layer above. I think this one has a layer above, right? Or is this one the top one? Oh, this one is the top one. Okay, I actually gotta be really careful then. Okay, so this is the top one on that side, and then we have that, and some other stuff below it. Okay. Yeah, okay, I gotta be really careful then. Can't be quite as gung-ho about, extended things as I initially thought I could. This will actually just be what it looks like then. I just gotta get all the colors in the right place. And just kinda... I just want to make this shape look nice. How's it looking? Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. So since this one's sitting on top, I definitely do want to make sure that I have that shape looking the way I want it to be. And now I'm just trying to figure out what is kind of the outline color around here. I'm not entirely sure. I got a couple of choices. So now I kind of have to do the same for the bottom part here. And just You see my inexperience with line art here. While I try to pretend like I can do that kind of thing. I think I'm gonna lock the layer now, because I think I'm satisfied with that shape. I just wanted to adjust the color right here a little bit. And even that feels a little bit strong. Let's go take a look at the original. It would help if I had the layer on. There we go. Take a look at the color that's there. It's more the gray, which is concerning. I'll pull it from somewhere where I've already corrected that color. Oh. Let's see. Probably like down here. Maybe like this one. And I am gonna have to add the original. That's gonna make it really inconvenient going back and forth. Something like this. I actually really dislike that. Maybe that's not the right one. It's a little bit redder. Maybe I want more one of the ones like this. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. And then I'll take my airbrush and kind of put them together so that the difference isn't quite so stark. There we go. Let me take a look at my other reference here. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of weird texturing on this strand. How funny. Okay. This color kind of goes, say, a little bit further out, more like this. It's kind of the last bit of the highlights here. There are a lot of just odd colors on this strand for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's not just JPEG artifacts. Well, this is a PNG, but same idea. Okay, now I get rid of this horrible, horrible color. Take a look up there to see what's actually supposed to be there. Yep, color I'm using is about right. And then it just kind of goes back to dark down here. Something kind of like this. And then make these differences a little bit stronger. And I think I'll just take the dark color from a nearby strand to put the lines back on. Something like this. Really not sure why some of that really bright red and pink got in there for some reason. Very odd. Very odd indeed. But it's okay, I can work around it. Bit unfortunate that I have to, but I can do it. And I want it to be a little bit less strong through here, because I don't remember seeing that much of a strand on the original. Okay, that's some transparency shenanigans. So we better get rid of that. Assume this is too. There we go. got some problems right here. I need to fix this. It didn't look very good when I zoomed out, so I'm gonna go straighten this out a bit. Tell that line to get into a better spot. Much better. And I can do the same right over here. This is way too close. Could not see. Honestly, I almost never zoom in on art like this, but here I'm am kind of looking at what color the individual pixels should be. Just due to the nature of what I'm doing. Alright. It's time to do this one. So this one I'm going to want to extend underneath a little bit. If I go a little bit further than what looks like is necessary. I think I want to hide the very, very back one. This is what I'm working on. One below it is a strand. That's that. We can leave it there, it's fine. Okay. So I want to keep the shape of the top mostly intact. It's just the bottom that I want to extend a little bit. That's doable. Alright, time to pull some shenanigans. Let's go. And I actually think I want to hide the baby strand there. What layer are you? That. It's probably lower than this. Okay, there it is. So I can kind of see that this strand is kind of going up this way, so I will follow that contour and just have my extended strand also go up this way. We'll just fill in this gap around here. Give me lots of room. Lots of room to make some pretty stuff happen later. Feels weird to be doing big details this zoomed in. I guess the canvas size is a bit smaller than what I normally work with too. But I kind of want to keep the area that I'm working on in main plane here. Have the entire thing on the screen. And little else. So we're just putting some colors down. Those basic colors in, and then I can extend it. And figure out how they meet. We're gonna have to do a lot of referencing with the original again, but you know, what else is new? Nose is a bit itchy again today. I do apologize for all the pausing while I scratch it. Plants in my backyard with me. Up to no good again. Never trust a plant. It'll get you. This is why I don't eat fruit. Okay. Kind of want to straighten out this side too. Thickness and thinness in certain areas is getting a little bit weird. I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. And then I have no idea what the heck's going on here, so I'm just going to make a decision, and I'm going to go. Perfect. Let's hide the strand for the time being. Do I want this on top or underneath? I think I'm actually going to put this underneath. Okay. Get rid of some of those random pink colors that just show up for some reason. I'll worry about the black area there in a second. And now I kind of want to smooth out this spot that I drew. Got a little bit blobby while I was drawing. That's okay. Now this should be a little bit straighter, a little bit more consistent. There we go. And I'll extend it a little bit more this way. Okay, and now I kind of have to start worrying about what the actual color should be. So how should this be done? Let's take a look. So this is kind of showing a little bit of the underside of the hair here, so I think this should actually be much further up, more like this. And then I can take these colors and push them upward. There we go. Oh, that is not the right brush. I want my blending brushes. Here we go. It's like I thought I might end up having to use a bunch of my other blending brushes here, but man, Krita airbrush is just so good. Very versatile, very useful. I like it. And it does everything I needed to do for a lot of things. Once you get good with it anyway. It took me a little while to get good with it. Now that I am, I just feel like there's a lot less reason to use anything else. Okay, time to reference the original a little. Let's see here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I think I extended this white part a little bit too far, so I just need to put some of the purple in there instead. It's because I don't think her hair is white that high up. Something like this should do that. Yeah, and then maybe even a little bit more. And then I want to rough things up here a little bit, just because I don't want things to be overly blended. The difference between the areas is actually quite pronounced for a gradient. Alright. A little highlight there, a little shadow there. And I think it's getting there. It'd be nice if I could get the last strand on this side too. Well, no, there's actually two more. I'm not sure if I have quite that much in me, because a lot of this redrawing is honestly quite extensive. But we shall see. Okay, I knew this part would probably be the part that took the longest. I think redrawing literally everything else on this model is going to take considerably less time than just getting this hair right. So not surprised that it's taking me 3 sessions just to get half. Fortunately, I think the clarity on the other side is a bit better. There's just more. But I think I do want to try to at least finish this strand before I call things for today. So let's go in and try to understand all the shadows and stuff. Just kind of sucks that I can't really keep the original on without driving myself crazy. Bit of a shame. Okay. So I'll try to paint over here. And just kind of smoothing out some of these areas. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between parts that were intentionally painted and parts that are just weird artifacts. And then I think I do want a few more colors through there. Not quite sure what to put through there though. Let me check the original and see if I can get any good ideas for what this artist would have put there if they were drawing him. Maybe like this color? Yeah, that should be good. And then the other color that seems to come up a lot is like this purple. So I think I can put that like on the transition here and make this a little bit nicer looking. And then a little bit of line. And down here. Maybe not. I don't think I want to use this color there. I think that's a little bit too strong. But I think this color's a little bit too strong too. What do I use? What is there currently? Maybe... Oh yeah, that should be good. I can just go in. There we go. Something like that. Then I'll hide the original and get back to making sure that this strand looks nice. I think I've gotten lots of good colors now. So it should be a lot easier to just finish it up. Look at this weird hot pink that just showed up out of nowhere. Really wish I didn't do that, but here we are. Alright, now I have to check the original again? Just to see what those strands look like here, and I am not getting any useful information out of that, because it's all really distorted. So I'm gonna go check my other reference. Are they the tips that dark? They are. They really are. Okay. Easy then. Weird, in my opinion, but easy. Trying to keep this ultra thin, because they're pretty thin in the original. And then I just extend it all the way here. There we go. Definitely not what I was expecting, but... well, I guess that makes my life a little bit more straightforward. So I'll take it. You can see I've unlocked the layers, so that this way I can kind of get this all in there. And we'll take this black and kind of go over this. Alright, I have no idea if this is a hole or not, so I'll keep the layer unlocked just a little bit longer while I try to get this, and I was not happy with the color I picked, so backing up and getting all this on here. There we go. It should fill in the hole nicely if it ever existed at all. And then just kinda really get in there and fill in the rest of the colors. Okay, I think that's probably okay for now. Now it's just a matter of deciding if I want to... I need to... No, excuse me. Okay, this one needs to go a little bit further down this way. I have the layer locked. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the parts that need to be there. And then I'll hide the layer above it. So that this way I can go in and clean up as needed. But no, it doesn't look like I really need to. Sweet. Okay. Alright, this loose strand. That shouldn't take too long. Honestly, it already looks pretty alright. I just kind of need to... fix that tip there. Because that tip does not look good at all. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine for that tip. And do I want to attempt anything else? I think I might need to save these 2 strands for tomorrow, because they're probably going to be a bit more intensive, because they're in really weird spots and I don't know what to do with them, if I'm being completely honest, but I think I can get this little guy here. Okay, so this one means I need to hide a bunch of layers. I'm going to hide the front as well. And this side, I think. Just kind of isolate this. Yeah, sure. That can hide too. Okay. Now I need to think about the areas that it's actually covering. So it's a little underneath piece for this, but mostly for this. Okay, I think I know how to properly extend this. I'm gonna keep this shown for now while I draw over here. I'm definitely gonna have to separate left and right side, because I can't have this covering all that later, but right now I need to keep it like this just for my own sanity. I might do a little bit of layer order shenanigans. Maybe instead of left and right I should have done it front, middle, and back. Okay, let me go turn on the strand that it needs to be underneath. I think it's this one. I probably want to extend it right through there. Something like this. That should be plenty. Might extend it upward just a little bit, but otherwise this should be plenty, honestly. I do a little bit of layer order before I call it. Put in this nice little red spot. I think that looks very pretty. Put a little bit over on this side too. A little bit of reflected light, I think. It's very nice. Kind of extend out these colors a little. Alright, I think that's okay. Now I can turn all the layers back on. And we'll do a few layer order shenanigans again. Or do I need to? I thought I did. It's like... Where is the layer I just did? Yeah, because it's overlapping this a little bit. Not nearly as bad as I thought. Maybe I can actually just get away with extending, oh, where is it? It's on top of that layer. Someday, okay, there it is. Someday I will remember where all the layers go. So I think I can probably actually just get away with extending this a little bit. Have it kind of go out here. Let me hide the front. And that'll save me a little bit of trouble with my layer orders. This way I can just divide it into left and right. Okay. So if I can do that, then... Well, it makes it a bit easier for my brain to understand it for whatever reason. So I'll take it. A lot of art is not entirely objective. Oh, there we go. Not too bad. I'm just checking over some of the holes that I haven't filled in yet. But it looks like most of them are on this side. There's still this one here because I haven't done that spot yet. But yeah, it's looking like I got most of them. So that's pretty cool. I want to do a quick point of comparison with everything zoomed out like this. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. It's like... I feel like I can tell that they were drawn... like it's not the same picture exactly. But they look similar enough that... I think if you're not looking for it, you might be able to mistake them for each other. I think that's something to be pleased with. Just noticed that that didn't quite follow the way I wanted. I just kind of want to go back and fix it up a little. Just a little. See if I can't get some of those angles correct. There we go. And I just need to zoom in a bit and make sure everything else is right. I hope I had that layer locked. I did. Good. Otherwise, there might be problems. And I also want to check the line art around it. So let's isolate it real quick. Do I have this? I do. Okay, we need to... Because I was afraid that I kind of made the line art surrounding it a little bit blurry. We'll just go in and correct that a little bit. Just one little issue, and suddenly you're going back in and fixing some stuff even though you're trying to wind down. Am I on the right layer? Oh, I am. Okay. But yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Yeah, not exactly the same, but similar enough that I think people will recognize it. Honestly, the biggest difference I see is just still in the eyes. On the fact that she's missing an ear. Alright, so I do think I will leave it there for today. Thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message me or at me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll take a look and maybe even leave some comments. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.